Loughborough on the 2nd of July. On the 10th of August, he went to the Midland Bank at Shepshed, Leicestershire, where, saying he had a gun, he demanded money. These last photographs were taken at Barclays Bank in Stapleford on February the 10th. He's in his late 30s or early 40s, about 5'9", and favours wearing an olive green cagoule. If you know who he is or where he is now, please call.
If you're a car dealer in the Midlands, you might have come across Peter Reynolds. We'd like to speak to him in connection with a series of car deceptions. Throughout 1991, he operated a company called Alpha Cars in Marjorie Street, Leicester. In April of that year, several expensive vehicles were obtained fraudulently and then subsequently sold on for cash. These 3 cars are still outstanding and may now be in the hands of innocent buyers. A beige Mitsubishi Shogun, registration H343AMT, a grey Toyota Supra Turbo H48 GJU, and a black Lincoln Continental SXI 4567. Mr. Reynolds is 44 and 5'10". He has several tattoos, including a crucifix on his left thumb and love on his right-hand fingers. He may be using the alias Edward Barr Macmillan. If you've seen him or know where the cars are, please call us tonight.
If you recognise this man, you could help solve a robbery at a jeweller's in Leicester city centre 2 months ago. Just after 4 p.m. on the 7th of January, he and 3 accomplices asked to see some jewellery which was on display. As the assistant opened the cabinet, the robbers grabbed a tray of rings and bracelets. The man's described about 24, 5'7", medium to stocky build with a local accent. His accomplices are in their 20s, slightly taller and wearing dark jackets. If you can help, call us now.
Do you know who this man is? We believe he may have information about an employment agency which offered construction work abroad. Calling itself Orion Associates and operating from an address in Wembley, Middlesex, the company advertised jobs in the national press. Since July, several hundred people have replied to the ads and sent in a £15 registration fee. They've heard nothing since. On July the 15th, this man was caught on the security camera at the Halifax Building Society in Edgware, North London. He obtained cash from an account believed to be holding the proceeds of the job advertisements. He's in his 30s, about 6 foot and well built with mid-brown hair. If you do know who he is or can help with any of our other photo call faces, please ring us tonight.
And the lines are open now, 081 811 8181, 081 811 8181.
We always try to make our reconstructions completely accurate, of course. Authentic locations, the actual witnesses instead of actors wherever possible, and of course the precise sequence of events. Our next case, though, is one where we've deliberately changed some of the details. The points of appeal are real enough, of course, but several other elements have either been altered to obscure copycat offences. The crime wasn't as straightforward as the film makes it appear, and indeed, it was nearly foiled.
Saturday the 13th of February, and this Toyota Celica was stolen from Hayford Manor Hotel in Northampton. Four days later, and 50 miles away, in Sutton Coldfield. John Moody was a regular night driver with Lightning Dispatch, a parcel and package courier service.
I'm never aware of what goods I carry, mostly low-value stuff. But occasionally we do get TVs and videos and electrical appliances.
Let's see, John. What you got?
Okay.
'John had been driving since 5:30 the previous afternoon, and this was his last load of the night, going home to Manchester, north on the M6.
Driving at night can be a lonely job. It's not too bad if you have a radio. But on this particular night there wasn't none. So you've only got your thoughts to think about, your family and how they are, and how you're glad to get back to them the next morning.
Just after junction 13, two tipper trucks from a company called Bulk Freight were travelling behind John's lorry. Both drivers had CB radios.
Sing a song, yeah? So we don't get paid for that? You must be joking. I was talking to my friend Tony on the CB, which helps to pass the time on our journeys. Usually his rude comments about the other drivers on the road, you know, how they drive and everything else. Hey Tony, look at this idiot. I don't know, mate, he wants his head examining. At first I thought it was kids messing about, but with a fast car like a Toyota I thought it would have gone in the fast lane and shot off. But then it looked as though it was using us as cover.
I was running early and I'd passed the 10-mile marker for the Keel services, so I was looking forward to having an early finish.
But then John saw flashing lights. This is one scene where we've disguised some of the details.
There's cars behind it all the time, you know, you don't take all that much notice of them, there's plenty on the motorway. But when he asked me to pull in, I always thought there was something wrong at the back, that probably the back doors had come open, maybe the back lights was out. Anything could be wrong, you know, you can't see at the back obviously when it's dark.
Get out! Other side! Just get down and no one gets hurt!
Sheer terror, I froze. It's the thought of not knowing what's going to happen to you, and it's a terrible feeling. I couldn't begin to describe to you what my feelings was really. I just thought, this is it. Goodbye, John.
Hey, Derek, that Toyota is pulled in the bloody lorry. You know, phone the police, I think it's an hijack.
Have you got his number?
Roger there, mate. K789
PKM, Roger.
I got that, mate.
Although it was dark in the boot of the car, I could still manage to see the street lights overhead. And then it went dark, and I knew it was out in the country somewhere, and I could hear the grit flying up underneath the car. Well, after the car stopped, I had cramp in my legs and needed to go to the toilet. The wireless went on quite loud. After a while, it just do your head in. A short time after, I heard my truck pull up. All this clattering and banging going on, and the radio had been playing loud for quite a while. And eventually, I heard the two doors slam. It drove off. After a while, we stopped at a petrol station because I could see the Flying Horse logo above.
We know the garage was here at Hagley Road in Halesowen, 40 miles from where John had been abducted. The practice here, as in many garages, is to jot down all car registration numbers. The attendant remembers the man being tall, of stocky build, and between 25 and 30 years.
Come on out.
I had great difficulty to get out because my legs were cramped up, pins and needles.
Go on, you can go.
I thought, now what, is this it? Well, I just stood there bewildered, terribly grateful that I was still alive because I didn't think I would be. But I did see the lights in the distance, so I thought my best bet was to walk towards them, which I did.
About an hour later, this witness was driving towards Halesowen.
I was travelling from Birmingham to Kidderminster. I passed the vehicle around about 10 to 7. I recognised the vehicle because of its logo. I do know of that particular company. It seemed strange for the vehicle to be parked at that time of the morning. There was very little traffic about.
I walked down this country lane, which seemed a hell of a long way. Apparently from there to the telephone box was 3 miles, but it seemed like 30. I was still off work and I can't return to work.